Hi everyone, it's Mike the MC bringing you the self-care video. This is the reason why our souls have internal struggles. Now this is going to come from St. Hildegard of Bingen. I thought this was a great thing from the book. I just had to share it after I read it, and I think it makes a lot of sense. And so for those of you, I've mentioned St. Hildegard a few times in my videos, but being in German in the 1100s, I believe, right? She's a very powerful saint, intercessor, knew how to not only be a contemplative, but also used nature, plants, right? Was very mystic and very aware of her connection with God through scripture, but also through life, being connected with the world around her. And in part of that, she got to write letters to very famous people who were in her area, right, around the abbey that she was in charge of. And so with one of the letters she wrote to, she said to the man in charge, basically summing up the point from the book to you, is that this bishop was having a conflict of his soul, and he was having trouble of managing how he should feel with respect to God, and then how he should respect his responsibility to the people underneath him. And so Hildegard has a beautiful metaphor. So the soul is a cornerstone of, you can think of a brick or some sort of little structure, just a cornerstone piece. It's facing the light. It's facing the bright light, looking at God, saying, oh, okay, I admire your beauty, Lord. I want to follow your law. I want to follow your guiding precepts. Make me a good man today. I follow you. But then the shadow behind him, from the light, cornerstone now to behind him. So while he's focused, the bishop, on the rules of God, everyone behind him in the shadow is kind of an afterthought. It's like, oh, well, let me serve him first, then I'll get to you guys from behind me. He's number one. He's numero uno. He's the one I have to follow, right? You all just follow that from me. But that's why he was having an internal struggle, this bishop, because he was so focused up there that he forgot that the people under his care are just as worth the love as it is his devotion to God. Yes, it's true to have that devotion where it should be, but that should not be just a selfish devotion. That should be extended to everybody. So that way it's not just you casting a shadow from behind your back with your responsibility. Now it's everybody. So kind of taking a step back. See, now everybody's in the light. God to the people. See, we're all in the light now in some way. I know I was using my hands as a metaphor here so you can see in the camera. But my point is, if you can connect the light of devotion to the other side, to the people that you're in charge of, now you're being a good leader, and you're no longer casting that shadow, and your soul is not having that conflict of light, of devotion. Now you're in sync. Now every part of your devotion, responsibility is in check, because you're aware with the gifts given above, they're meant to be given and to be used to help those under your care. And so that way you don't leave anyone in the shadow. You don't leave anyone from behind. How many leaders can you say you've seen have left their people behind, their countries, their military, the people in poverty, right? And you could think, okay, well, there's so many examples. I could think of many people throughout history. Well, that's great then. So if we can think of all these famous figures of history, the good and the bad, and how every leader is responsible to the people that they're in charge of, and whether they were caring or not about the people, right? You can look at that shadow and say, okay, that leader probably was so devoted, but they had a small shadow also, because their smaller shadow compared to another guy's leader, a lady's shadow, because they were not as aware. But you can look at the shadows of different leaders, and I dare you to look at that through politicians, people in office. That's one way to look at everyone's shadow, but also look at priests, look at other teachers, right? Look at other people of order and responsibility. Look at the shadows of parents, right? How is our shadow with respect to our kids? Is that small compared to someone who may be so far not connected with their child that they're in the dark because they're so focused and worried about their own soul, being selfish in this regard? Right. Everyone under your care has to be extended that light to everyone. So that way the shadow behind you is really minimal or no more in the way. It's not hiding people from behind. So that way your soul is not having that conflict of, who do I serve? Do I serve God or the people, or who's my responsibility to? Which one of the two is more important? And so when you have both sides, the eternal with the world of creation, when those are in sync with respect to you and your abilities, that should reduce the resistance in your soul that is hurting you from being at peace and finding that love that you know you want for everybody to fill, using your responsibilities and being a good leader. So I just wanted to share that from St. Hildegard. I thought this was a great one for y'all to see and to share in the comments. What do you think? You think this is something that you can consider? Do you have a big shadow, a small one? What is it that puts your soul in jeopardy between the people to God or God to the people? And seeing how you can connect both worlds together of God and the people through you. How can you make that connection? How can someone help you? Look at areas of your life you can improve, and I know you'll become a better person in the process. All right, everyone. Hope this one finds you well. Take care. Have a good one.